Hi, I'm going to be talking about Banger, the new French comedy on Netflix starring Vincent Cassel. I looked him up on IMDb. I didn't realise how many films he'd made. 75 so far. He's been around a long time, and in many regards, he is the epitome of French cinema cool, in my opinion. Not only that, he's a versatile actor. He's equally at home being a hero, an anti-hero villain. Here, he takes a sidestep, let's say, and he dials up the cringe as a solipsistic, insecure, one-hit wonder electronic dance music DJ. It's a comedy. It's a crime comedy. Here he's trying to resuscitate his career, and it's humiliation after humiliation, and his character is taking a toll on him. And obviously, you don't want to see people be humiliated who are decent human beings. Humiliation is awful as a weapon, but here it's a comedy in the sort of the vein of The Office or Curb Your Enthusiasm, where people have character blind spots. And so the comedy comes not from their sort of circumstances they've found themselves in a sort of tough way, or in a sort of looking down on the character way, but more that he's in denial about who he is, and that's where the comedy comes from. The sort of incongruity between how he sees himself and how the world sees him. And here, I mean, this could have been in any setting, but here it's done in the EDM scene. And what he's trying to do is become a top DJ again. But we see how far his star has fallen when he gets called in to support the country's top EDM DJ, Vestax. By the way, Vincent Cassel's character goes by the name of Scorpex, and his character's real name is Louis, but he goes by the name of Scorpex. And you see when he goes to the gig how his green room is like a broom cupboard, and half open pack of bottles of water, whereas he sort of sneaks into Vestax's green room and it's champagne and luxury and wonderful interior design. So this young up and coming DJ is his rival, and it sort of sticks in his craw, and he seems to be stuck. Vincent Cassel's character, unable to sort of recreate the magic he created with that one song in the film. It was 15 years ago, and it reminds me of actually Wonder Boys, the novel by Michael Chabon, that was turned into an excellent film directed by Curtis Hanson, starring Michael Douglas and Robert Downey Jr. and Frances McDormand and Tobey Maguire and Katie Holmes, about what happened in that story. That's about an author who was lauded with his first novel and has been trying to follow up with a sophomore effort, but unable to, because he was so successful that he's so paranoid and worried that he can't recreate the magic he created in the first instance. And here it seems like Vincent Cassel's character seems to be the same, but done more comedy for comedy effect. And while he's trying to rise up again, in the meantime, the police have an eye on him, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to take down a drug dealer called Drickus, but this Drickus character has had plastic surgery and is unrecognizable, but the police know that Vestax has some kind of connection with him, so they basically try and recruit Vincent Cassel's character Scorpex to infiltrate Vestax and find out who this Drickus character is now, like what does he look like, so the police can arrest him. Because there's this new designer drug that's super addictive, that's causing a lot of problems in French French society. And so, obviously, he's reluctant, as in lots of I guess someone in this scene is not going to be helping the police. Or it's interesting how in certain scenarios, when a character is trying to be recruited by the police, that they are reluctant. I mean, what does it say about society's view of the police? I mean, the film doesn't even delve into that, but I was wondering that he doesn't want to help just because it's the right thing to do, but he's mistrustful of the police. I mean, I don't know whether there's some kind of subversive or societal commentary on that. Anyway, they basically blackmail him into helping them. He's forced to, basically he owes a lot of back taxes, and so they threaten to take all his collections away, his physical, his trophies and all the things he's collected over the years. So he basically reluctantly joins the police to infiltrate undercover, to try and go and find this drug dealer. And the police officer at the beginning of the film is explaining to her colleague how DJs work in the EDM scene. I think as much obviously for her colleague as it is for audience who are not au fait with DJing. I mean, I have no idea like how authentic any of this EDM stuff is going on in the film, but I have my doubts how authentic it is. I wonder if the people who are experts in the field view this film. But really, it's not really even about EDM. I think it's just a milieu, or a context for the cringe comedy to sit within, and there's something very cringe about wannabe DJs, I think, and I think that could be wedding DJs, it could be any kind of music DJs from the 80s all the way, and the 70s all the way to now. I think there's something that can be very cringe about a DJ. Not all DJs obviously, but like it's DJs who are deluded. And I think, and that's where the comedy's, the context of it is. He's also got a daughter who's one to follow in his footsteps. So there's along with the sort of comedy and the crime elements, there's a sort of father-daughter kind of relationship drama within the film, and you can see where all the signposts well in advance of all the character beats and story beats where that's going to head. I mean, it's not very original, but it has its charm. But the problem I have with the film is, as much as it's funny and worth your time, the ending is not very good. It's very fudged. It's very anticlimactic. The ending is almost rushed. I had to actually rewind the film to check that I'd caught it all, because it just suddenly happens. And it all ties up in a bow, well, mostly a bow, because it seems to set up a sequel as well. I'm not sure why, they thought this might be a franchise. I mean, maybe it will be. I mean, I'm not really sure it deserves to have a sequel, but, how many films do deserve to have a sequel? But yeah, that's my complaint, I think, about the film, is that, the ending, does not deliver. But as a sort of time passing experience, yeah, it's worth your time. But I tell you what, a better film I would recommend, also on Netflix, also a French comedy, also involving crime as well, is called All Time High, also known as Nouveau Riche, and that is a cracking comedy on Netflix. So maybe do a double bill if you love French films. Start with this one banger and then go on to All Time High. Thanks a lot.